Sisters and brothers, this is your Chocolate Priestess, and I'm here with my husband. Say hello.
Hi.
He is going to demonstrate a game that I was sent to review, which it turns out is actually an updated and slightly changed version to a game I've had before. Not sent to review here in the Chocolate Acolyte, however. And so he's going to show you the differences between them, and I'm going to just tape him. So let's turn it over to Tom. So Tom, what do these games have and what makes them different?
Well,
So kind of set them closer together.
Chocolate Fix is a logical deduction game. It called itself that in the old version. The new version calls itself a Sudoku-style logic game. The old version didn't bill itself as anything Sudoku-like, and I would argue that it really is not that Sudoku-like. The game has this square game board with 9 little depressions in it. As you can see, the game is by ThinkFun, and there's their logo right in the middle. This is the new game over here, and the game board now is exactly the same, except that it's a different color. Everything's the same about it, however. It's exactly the same size and shape, still has the same logo, it's just black instead of red. Now the game involves these little pieces, and they are adorable, that look like little chocolates. And the whole point is to come up with the arrangement of chocolates that matches the clues that you're given in the particular puzzle. The new one, as you can see, also has these same shapes of chocolates, except that whereas the old one had both milk chocolates and dark chocolates, the new one, and strawberry pieces, the new one has replaced the milk chocolate pieces with white chocolate pieces, which I feel to be an improvement because it's a lot easier to distinguish them visually than it was in the old one with these 2 different kinds of brown pieces. It was a little bit more difficult. They've made the new strawberry pieces a little bit brighter in color, a bit more intense. I'm not sure that that was necessary, but it doesn't really affect anything. The rules of the game are exactly the same, however. In the old one, the original game had this booklet, and the booklet actually is ring-bound and stands up on its own.
Turn to the side. There we go.
And it contains both the instructions and then all of the puzzles. It starts out with a little story saying that the owner of the candy store went on vacation, left you in charge, and the owner didn't give you complete instructions on how to fill all the orders, but really it's just a logic puzzle. The new one, however, has 2 different books. They don't stand up on their own. One of them has the instructions and the solutions. The other one has all of the actual puzzles. There are good and bad things to both the old one and the new one, I think. The old one, of course, the book stands up by itself. You don't have to sit something on it to keep it open or anything. It's right there. It stands on its own. But there are only 40 puzzles in the book. Once you're done with them, then you're out of puzzles. The new one has 80 puzzles and not 40, twice as many. And the solutions are in a separate book, so that way you can hide this, put it under something else, and then you can challenge yourself. The new one also focuses a lot on the whole training your brain kind of fad that's been going on lately, keeping your mind sharp, doing this. They say do it 15 minutes a day to keep your mind sharp. But, it's a puzzle. It's a logic puzzle.
And you do Sudoku puzzles a lot, don't you?
I actually do a lot of Sudoku, yes.
How do you think this compares to your average Sudoku puzzle?
This is not a Sudoku puzzle. The Sudoku puzzle is 9 by 9 and has to do with making sure that each row, column, and block contains the numbers 1 through 9, or 9 different symbols of some kind. And this is not like that at all. We don't have rows and columns that have to add up to anything. What they have instead are puzzles that they give you combinations of pieces that must appear within the finished puzzle, and then if you can manage to do all of that, then it will solve the puzzle. So, for example, let's do this. I'll show you this one. Here's an intermediate puzzle. These 4 figures, and this one simply means, I'll just take the pieces off the puzzle. This simply means, first of all, that there must be a brown piece, a chocolate piece, in the bottom left cell of the grid. This means that somewhere within the resulting grid there must be that strawberry triangle and the dark chocolate triangle next to each other. So the strawberry triangle and the dark chocolate triangle must occur like that, left and right. This one means that somewhere in the final puzzle the white chocolate square and the strawberry square must appear like that.
Circle.
And then, yeah, so the strawberry circle. And then this one simply means that there must be a row somewhere in the puzzle with the white chocolate circle, the dark chocolate circle, and the white chocolate triangle. Nothing is said about the strawberry square, but that means that we must have to figure out where it goes. Well, as this is, really, there are only 2 places where this row can go. It can go here or here. But if it goes in the middle row, there is no place for this figure to fit. So therefore, it must fit in the top row. Now that means then this figure with the white chocolate square with the strawberry circle below it can fit either here or here. There's 2 places where it can fit. However, if we put it here, there's no place for this figure to go. So it must go here, and that means that this figure must go here, and this is the only other place for that strawberry square to fit. Therefore, we have now solved that puzzle. There we go.
Wow.
And that's how they all work. That was an intermediate level one. There's beginner level ones to get you started, and then after the intermediate level ones, there are advanced ones, and then after those, there are expert ones that are even harder. And they don't even tell you where individual pieces fit. They will say, like, okay, all 3 pink ones must be in a row, but they don't tell you what shapes they are, or they'll say this figure must be formed by a circle, a triangle, a circle, and then another square. But they don't say what colors. You have to figure that out. And so it can get actually pretty complex. So it's not a Sudoku game, I would say, but it is a logic game, and you do have to think quite a bit, especially to solve those expert level ones.
Excellent. Would you say the puzzles are harder or easier or the same levels of difficulty as in the original version?
They're about the same level of difficulty. They have 4 different levels, just like the original version, and there's just a few more of them. They've constructed a few more.
Is there anything else that's different between these 2 games?
Well, the old one seems to be more geared toward being portable, because the old one came with this little sack that you could put the whole game in and carry it along with you. Mm-hmm. There's also the fact that the book stands up on its own, so that means that you could actually, set this up on a smaller table or something, whereas with these, you would have to open the book up to something and then somehow, put something on top of it or hold it open. So I think the new one is not quite designed as much with portability in mind.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your help. Would you recommend this game to someone who likes chocolate and logic?
Maybe, but playing with these little plastic chocolates that you can't eat is going to make you hungry. I hope that while you're playing with it, you find something healthy to eat and or drink, and I hope that you do the puzzles and improve your mind and exercise your brain.
All right. Thank you very much.